LGBTQ students deserve to be safe.
Love you, Press Secretary.
Donald Trump and Joe Biden will face off in their first televised election debate for 2024. It's this Thursday, Friday morning, our time. The rules they've set out for this debate seem to favour Joe Biden. Things like muting the microphones unless it's their turn to speak and no live audience. And really, does anyone think the Biden camp hasn't got the questions already? And this debate is on a vehemently anti-Trump network, CNN, that relentlessly pushed every conspiracy theory and hoax, from the Russian collusion hoax to the find people on both sides lie to the Hunter Biden laptop being Russian disinformation. And Army, the debate is going to be moderated by two Trump-deranged individuals, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. Now, everyone knows what a biased hack Bash is, but some still think, despite his part in enthusiastically pushing every anti-Trump disinformation we've heard in recent years, a lot of people still think Tapper is a straight shooter. But just have a look at this, see how overjoyed he was when he learnt Trump would no longer be president.
Extreme divisions, many of the divisions caused and exacerbated by President Trump himself. It's been a time of several significant and utterly avoidable failures, most tragically, of course, the unwillingness to respect facts and science and do everything that can be done to save lives during a pandemic. It has been a time where truth and fact were treated with disdain. It is a time of cruelty where official inhumanity, such as child separation, became the official shameful policy of the United States. But now the Trump presidency is coming to an end. To an end. With so many squandered opportunities and ruined potential, but also an era of just plain meanness. It must be said, to paraphrase President Ford, for tens of millions of our fellow Americans, their long national nightmare is over.
The nightmare is over. The meanness of the border policies, army not respecting the COVID science. That little rant hasn't aged too well.
No, look, I actually have known Jake Tapper a little bit. We're somewhat in contact with each other. I kind of like him personally. And I think that everything, it's all relative speaking. I think relative to other people on CNN or MSNBC, he's not that terrible. He is absolutely no fan.
Oh, well, that's saying something.
Trump, as you saw there. True. Look, at the end of the day, why did Trump take these debates so quickly, even though he knew that it was stacked against him? He did it because Joe Biden wasn't going to debate otherwise, right? Look, we were debating this and talking about this before. There was a good chance there will be a first time in presidential history, modern presidential history, that there wasn't going to be a debate. Trump knew that and needed to make this move in order to get Biden to debate. We all know the bias against Republican candidates on these debate stages. This is nothing new. These debates are run by the mainstream media. They're hosted by the mainstream media. And we all know statistically they vote Democratic. No question about it. But the truth is, this debate, it is so important because, this race is so tight that even though Trump is leading in a lot of the battleground states, they're all in a statistical dead heat. And there aren't going to be many inflection points during the course of this election. This is going to be one of those inflection points. And in fact, I do think that this debate will set the trajectory for the rest of this election. And it'll be very difficult if somebody takes a large lead from this debate. It'll be very hard for that other person to come back. So I think this is important. I think, frankly, counterintuitively, the mics being shut off may actually help Trump in a couple of ways. First of all, it goes against it kind of pulls him back from his self-destructive nature of kind of being a little bit of a jerk on camera, which he can be sometimes, a little bit over-aggressive. I think he does better when he's calm, cool, and collected. I think this will force him to do that. And frankly, you want Joe Biden to have time, right? And not to be interrupted by Trump, because when he has time, that's when you see Biden self-destruct. He may not even make it through the entire time that he has allotted to him. We've seen it before. We've had a minute, and he stopped 15 seconds short and stares at the camera. So that actually could work in Trump's favor.